Hello,
Hey
everybody.
everyone, how goes it? You were about to say something.
I was saying hello, everybody, and then you said hello, everybody. How goes it?
All right. It's Layer Web Member Solutions on over here with Chris from Villain Support, of course. How y'all doing? Hope everyone's doing great. You know, considering how often I open the live as it's Levi with Member Solutions on over here with Villain Support or Chris with Villain Support, so on and so forth, you would think there'd be more people who would remember on Member Solutions. I still love it, the fact the Member Solutions to the Heroes for. But I love this joke because regardless, it gives us this in to do this type of thing.
Right.
And like even when hero support becomes a full-fledged thing, which we are like, we're not in a rush. We're
I'm
kind of
still
like
not sold on it being a thing, but yeah.
when we
I'm still not sold on it needing to be a thing.
I mean, like it could be this joke that it's a reoccurring amount of people who just they go into hero support and all they do is the orders and stuff. And then anytime they get a call that's too hard, they either A, quit the job, or B, send it on. They send it on over. I would love for hero support to be a thing eventually, but it's also a matter of finding things. I think, like, in all honesty, it might wind up being one of those things where if the animation goes the way that we would like it, that's when it would be a thing.
Yeah. So yes, I think a lot of people do know what Member Solutions is versus Villain Support, but at the same time, you got to remember that it's the same 60 to 80 people that kind of cycle through our lives for the most part. Now, Ian, we didn't give much notice at all, so you came in during the very beginning of the conversation. What's up, Rogue?
One of these days, I will get perfect lighting, and everything will be lit up beautifully. Until then, oh well. It's just me being picky.
All right,
Christopher,
so the first sunset video was a little bit too far out into the waves, so I'm getting rid of the waves. And well, I think it was because I think you want to be in the chair, right?
It needs to be a little bit closer, and we need like a closer up.
I just prompted it and told it to I just prompted
the one thing is like we don't need it moving forward. We just need the
right. Let's do this again and tell it just okay. So hold on.
And see, for everyone wondering, like I spent a few hours trying to find like the right angle video or photo or something.
Yeah.
It's Hawaii. You would think I would be able to. But no.
You were probably being too specific. For if you were searching for Hawaii, just search for beach.
I did that too.
You did? Okay.
Yeah. A good portion of it is like, it's not that I couldn't find the right angles. It was like people sharing private moments on social media. I'm like, I don't want to be the guy that just rips this off of somebody's random video that isn't like some type of skit or ad or something else like that. It's just a private moment that they're sharing with the world. And it's like, Rogue 53. I can't highlight your comment.
Because he's on, really?
No. Don't highlight that comment. You can highlight that one. Don't highlight the other one that has the GU.
Oh, it's fine. Tracer, that one was really fun to do.
I really like that one. That one was really nice. I'll be honest, you're going to hate my feedback for this. Your upcoming skit tomorrow, I've got mixed feelings about.
Okay. I figured you would.
Here's how. Here it goes, and then this is, you guys get to see some live feedback. Without getting into specifics, it could be better. I know it can. It could be shorter and drive the same point home. Most notably, similar feedback to what you gave me earlier, you kind of lose it in the middle. I went 4 times speed on that bitch, by the way, because I got bored within 30 seconds.
Okay.
And
this thing is not giving me a static shot. It's zooming every time, and it does not look realistic enough.
It's okay. It's not a big deal. We can always what I really can do is if the new month has started for the other one that we were using, I could take one of the static images that it created and make it have movement. Because realistically, trees swaying in the background is probably all you need. And then you add in the beach sounds and everything else, and you would be fine. But the reason why I'm going for those, like I recorded a bunch of lines that are of me, like you see my face better as well. But a part of the reason why I was recording like that is I'm limited between like what my kiddo can accomplish without knowing how to run my camera and everything. And me trying to make sure I'm in the same damn spot, sitting the exact same way while trying to do multiple takes.
Steven, go to sleep.
Go to sleep, Steven. You're good. Go to sleep.
You've earned it, my friend.
So that's also one of those things where it's like when I was researching shots and everything, and I love for everyone here, when you watch a sitcom, watch a movie, watch a bunch of stuff, it's very vastly different to social media. Social media, as I told you guys, some of you were here for it, some of you might not have been. There's like a ratio, like a really good ratio that will almost guarantee you your video will have some level of success. And for a good portion of the Stitch Part 2, we are following that format. But when we get to some of my scenes, we change that. Now, the reason why I'm okay with changing it for some of my scenes is 2 things. One, it is necessary scene development. I am not in front of a phone, in front of a desk. You should not see me in that same manner whatsoever. You should see me as if I'm lounging. You're watching a comedic scene of somebody talking on a beach, and in all reality, if I could do it, the best version of this would be like when you're watching any of the sitcoms where there's a beach scene and there's a bunch of people in the background, a bunch of things happening, and you're not right up there. You're like moving slowly up to that character until they're taking up the screen, right? Or the back and forth banter. Eventually, they get to that part. Which is why I've recorded 2 different versions of the lines. One where you have that closer version of me, and one where it's a further away version of me. Because and number 2 is by the time we get to my scene, regardless of if this winds up becoming another 3-parter or 4-parter for this again, we are far enough in the skit that the people who are going to stay are going to stay. We're over 30 seconds in by the time you get to my scene. So with that being said, those people are sticking around. Doesn't matter if I'm not front and center in the screen. What matters is my line delivery and me looking like I don't give a shit, which I deliver. I don't want to have to re-record that, but I am prepared to re-record some lines if I feel necessary. But most of them that I'd have to re-record are the close-up shots. I don't think I have to re-record any of the far away. And that's all like depending on when I go editing, because everything I have is timed now. I've got all my shots recorded, how I would deliver them, the amount of time it would take. So when Chris films his stuff and gets it to me and I start the editing process, if I go and look at it, I go like, this would do really well as a close-up, but I have to go and re-record that. and I have that option because it's me having to redo it, not Chris or somebody else that we might have needed to do that. That's a disadvantage of like being as far as we are. Reshots are virtually not possible if I'm doing directing / editing. If I'm just editing, not a big deal. But if I'm directing it, which for the Stitch stuff I am, I need to see the scenes either when they're being filmed, or like I have to give feedback relatively quickly. And the last time that Chris recorded the Stitch stuff, that was not a possibility. But we also went into this knowing that we might have to redo this because of the way we tell stories, and the delivery needed to be a certain way. I'm really hopeful that the scenes that he already recorded, we're going to be able to keep a good portion of them. But with the way it's developing, we're both aware that I might have to go and rewrite a bunch of stuff, and he might have to re-record, which would suck because I also spent hours editing that stuff together. So technically that whole chunk is all I have to do is film my parts when I get to it.
Right.
It's like, oh, let's spend 5-6 hours writing. Let's spend another 5-6 hours rewriting. Let's spend another 5-6 hours rewriting. You know what? Let's just say I've rewritten this too many times. Okay, we're finally recorded a big chunk. Let me edit a bunch of this together. Let's spend a few hours doing that. Okay. We have to redo this whole part here. But we're getting some really good videos out of it, so I'm good.
We are indeed.
You happen to know how to.
So Steven wore his shirt to work today, had a few people ask where they could get one, and then he had to explain to 20 different developers what fill-in support was.
You do. We're doing all the work.
Here's an ironic part I want to talk about. So I filmed the Batman Paddington skit
Okay.
because I thought it'd be funny.
Until someone verifies that it is indeed a talking cow, it's essentially worthless.
Nah, I don't know.
Give me a second here.
Can I talk to the cow?
I'm rewatching this and figuring out where I can cut it.
Oh, okay.
John, who am I speaking to?
But
Robert McKenna from Algona, Iowa.
was I?
Get me out of here.
It didn't do that well on TikTok. Not a big deal. It did okay on YouTube. The Batman Paddington skit.
Yeah.
Honestly, as a video, even though I had fun doing it, I look back at it and I'm like, I kind of feel like I knew it was a coin toss. I knew when I put it out, even though I think I delivered on it, I don't think I could have made it much better other than literally cutting it at the 1 minute marker. The 1 minute marker, for anyone that watched the skit, the 1 minute marker, when I watched it, was like the perfect button point where I left everything open, but I was like, I kind of want to have where he does the hard stare in there. So I went ahead and extended the button a little bit further. I don't regret it because not a lot of people watched it anyways, but the people who did watch it all commented about how it was either A, the shirt that they were commenting on, or B, the hard stare that Paddington did. Okay. And the other comments were here and there about Paddington Bear, about how his coat was blue, not brown, even though the original had a brown coat. It was like What happened though, and what I find ironic about it, is that it wasn't meant to be an ad video of the shirts. But we've sold like 5 shirts from that video. The video, ironically enough, made more money from merch sales than it probably will as a social media post. Because a lot of people are like, where did you get that shirt? Oh my God, that shirt. Quick storyline. I got done filming the Stitch videos.
Hello.
And I didn't feel like changing my shirts.
Send me a picture.
That's the reason why I was wearing them.
Hold on.
Just
It's on its way.
what's up?
Teletubbies. I'm glad you guys liked it. That did watch it. I'm glad that people who resonated with it enjoyed it. That was really cool to see that that people liked it.
Next year.
What?
We got
Stupid.
Your abduction license.
over 130 comments. Most of the people who on YouTube that watched it were commenting about the shirt.
Yeah, now that I'm rewatching this, I don't like it at all.
I'm sorry. I
No, you know what? I recorded it and I watched it and I was happy with the sketch. But now looking at it with that feedback, yeah, you're right. The problem with that kind of feedback is it's really easy to give to someone else. It's really hard to give to yourself. You know what I mean?
What's
Like,
funny is that the first video of the Tiny Chef I did was just me holding the camera and everything. And I was like, I want to make this. So I made it on live, did a couple versions, and then like something nagged at me. So I rewatched it today and I was like, I don't like this. So I had the same thing. I just had to take it. So, and I've learned before I post a video as of late, unless I really love it from the get-go, I have no feelings of hating it or I think I could do better or anything like that. There's no reservation. I 100% love it. No one's going to tell me different type of feeling. Which honestly doesn't happen unless I spent 20 hours editing like one of the long forms and shit.
even then, there's times you look at it and you're like, fuck, you're right.
Yeah, right.
I applaud you on having the awareness to look at it and be like, this is done. It's okay, but something's wrong and I can't figure out what. And I watched it and my first thought was, if you had not shown me the Tiny Chef video that I watched first, I would be like, what is this? What are you talking about? And with that in mind, I'm like, all right, that makes some sense. And I'm watching it and I'm like, I see where this is going. I see what you're trying to do. The first minute or so is just like,
yeah,
do something. And I'm like, I know how to fix this, speed it up at the beginning. There's all this exposition we don't need. And yeah,
and
now
see,
that
that's where I was like, I knew that there was something wrong at the beginning. I was like, God. And I was thinking, I was like, what do I need to cut at the beginning? How do I shorten this up? And I really like the version that we've got. Do you guys want to take a quick look? I think.
Did they all know about the Tiny Chef thing?
If these are our normal audience, which most of it is, yes, they were here, especially during the first time.
Okay.
And they're the reason why I recorded, because like I had the idea. I was like, you guys know who Tiny Chef is? Because like, I'll be honest, if our normal audience that is going to watch our content didn't fucking know Tiny Chef, I was just gonna be like, there's no point in us doing this. This would be a pointless attention grab of something that's happening to somebody else, and me trying to be like, hey, this. Like, even though I really do want to help out Tiny Chef in some way, this is my way of helping him out, you know?
Troa doesn't know what it is.
Troa doesn't. Tiny Chef. The Tiny Chef show, isn't it Wheeling Dragon? If you looked it up, it's so cute, right? We saw Tiny Chef? Yes. But 5-point-something million followers on TikTok, and their story is really awesome. Because they went from social media to getting picked up, winning an Emmy. They were on Nickelodeon. They won an Emmy. And then they got canceled. And it's like, you have a rags to riches or underdog type story. They're not rich, but, you know, an underdog type story. And then, like, Nickelodeon was like, psych.
Oh. Sorry about the fan. Our air conditioning on the bottom floor went out yesterday, so we're waiting on the AC company to come here tomorrow.
I'm good.
I'm not. I'm very warm. That's why I have the fan on. And I hate having air blowing on me, but it's necessary right now.
Yeah. And so like do you not have like you probably will know you probably because you have central air conditioning, you probably don't have like window units or portable air conditioners.
No, so the whole condenser unit on the outside of the house for the bottom floor died. So we got someone coming tomorrow afternoon to come look at it.
So one floor is air conditioned and one floor is not.
So the top floor's air conditioning is still working fine. The bottom floors is not.
Ah, okay. Meanwhile, the air conditioning just is the top floor, and it's just ironically cold down here.
I agree, Alexis, because we've had a bunch of unexpected expenses recently that we are sick of spending money on.
I hate when that happens. Regardless.
My car had about $1,000 worth of work to do to it, and then I took it to Columbus for Origins, and on the way there, the AC took a shit, and the whole way there and the whole way back, we had to keep turning it on and off to get it working. And then I got back in town, and I got there, and they were like, "Yeah, your AC unit has a bunch of busted seals on it." And I'm like, "Why didn't you get that when I brought the car in last week?" And they're like, "We didn't check the AC because you didn't ask about the AC." I'm like, "Okay."
So what I learned,
they're like, "Here's the pictures and here's all the leaks." I'm like, "I see the leaks. I believe you."
So here's what I learned, that mechanics will 100% do that. And asking a mechanic to look for problems is also like, you've got to be careful who you say that to, because some of them, yeah.
Can you find anything else wrong with the car? Yes, I can. You know, that's not what I mean.
But I'll share the screen for those of you who do not know who Tiny Chef is. It's an adorable little stop motion animation. And I can share. Well, I can't share a little bit of it. Just know that it's really awesome. If you have kids, they'll love it. And even without kids, there's enough references for adults to kind of get a small chuckle at it. And it's like, oh, this is adorable. This is fun. I'm not saying that like you'd be able to sit there and watch the whole show, but like, yeah, it's nice. I forgot to share my sound. There we go. Hold on 1 second. John, Nickelodeon just canceled the Tiny Chef show.
What? Didn't they just win an Emmy?
Yeah.
Well, then let's find him a new home. Does he have any audition tapes?
I've got him on hold. Let me find out. Tiny Chef? Yeah. Okay. So do you have any audition tapes? So when you say, do you mean like clone troopers from Star Wars, like the stormtroopers? Okay, those guys are usually clones, and the ones that aren't still are a lot taller than you. I'm not saying anything because they're also not chefs. Like most of the time, they. Okay, it's all right. It's okay. What else do you got? Clicker? We can't be thinking of the same thing. Are you talking about like a remote control clicker? Like you're going to be in control from The Last of Us? We were thinking of the same thing. Have you played those games, Tiny Chef? Or okay, you do know you wouldn't be doing any cooking there. As a clicker, they eat raw, not vegetables. People. Yeah, people. Okay, look, here's the thing. You do realize that if we get you a job, regardless of where it's at, we'd be sending you to that reality. You would become intertwined into it. And not a lot of those places are safe for a tiny chef. Well, there are a few that I think you would do really well with. Look, for now, let's get the word out and just let me make sure what the best way for people is to find you. Like, let's figure that out. The Tiny Chef Show on all social medias, right? Okay. Link in bio on all the platforms. Got it. I think that would help you way better than actually going to most of our customers' realities.
So let's start by getting that out there, and let us do some work to find somewhere you'll be safe, because you're cute and I'd like to keep you around. And most of the realities that we could send you to for that type of work, well, they're the opposite of safe.
I do too.
I love that. I have a request for our audience.
Oh,
Do we have two people who would like to hop into the stream with us for a few minutes and read some parts from a sketch that I'm working on?
oh, full on interactive. Two of our audience members that we have had a lot of times previously. I will say that people that we know and trust.
Okay, Rusty Stormraven, do we have you on
Discord?
On Discord? If so, message me. Okay, Rusty and Debbie, I've got two roles for you two. I need you both to message me on Discord or on Instagram, one of the two, and I'll send you the link.
Levi Mark, and that's all good. Don't worry about it. You don't need to have both, but you do need to at least have a mic.
Yeah, you need to at least have audio. You don't need to have video.
And I'll work on getting this edited a little bit later.
I'm watching for messages.
Oh, that's pretty. I want to keep that picture. How do I keep that picture?
Most computers have a save option or a copy option. Sorry, I don't mean to be a smartass.
Windows updated a bunch of its stuff. It used to be a button I could just click, and then before that, it was like a specific file.
Well, right now, Alexis, I think we have our two volunteers already. I'm just waiting on messages so I can send them the link to join the live. It'll just be a temporary thing. Debbie, you wanna find me on the Discord, or actually, so my username on Discord is Chris Wolf, ChrisWolf. Or if you just go to the general tab, the general on the Discord, if you're on the Villain Support Discord, you can also just go to the general chat and just @ me. And then I can click on your name and just send you a direct message that way. All right, Rusty Stormraven, I see you on there. 1 second here. You're the same name there, so that's easy to find you. All right, Rusty Stormraven. Probably helps to actually have the invite link there. There we go. Okay. Message Rusty Stormraven. Okay, Rusty, I'm sending you the link here. And then Hazard Mouse, I'm sending that to you as well. All right, you should both have the link. When you click on that, it'll prompt you to make sure that your microphone works. And I'm going to turn the fan down because that's...
honestly, we can't hear it, by the way.
All right, good. All right, so I'm just waiting on you both to click the links and pop in here. And then I will add you to the chat, and then I will share the script. Levi is going to be Rich. I play my character, John. Stormraven will be Dave. And Debbie will be Lizzie.
Are you going to share it on the screen, or?
As soon as we got them in here, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So this, do you remember when I was writing that script about the guy who turned into the lich and was trying to figure stuff out?
Turn into what?
The guy who turned into a lich. Hey,
Oh,
Rusty
yeah.
Sullivan. Hey, Debbie.
Hi.
Rusty, I can't hear you. Can you speak real quick?
I wasn't talking, that's why.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Now I hear you. Awesome.
Okay, which character am I again?
All right. So you're going to be Rich. I'm going to share this here in a second.
Okay, this is disturbing because I have as good of a beard as you two, but
You're all good. So, okay. So I am John. Levi, you're Rich. Rich just talks normally. Dave, you are slowly, so Rusty Stormhaven, you're playing Dave. You are in the process of slowly becoming a zombie. So you speak kind of like this.
okay.
Yep.
Of
And
course.
then Debbie, you are Lizzie, who is speaking normally, but is also slowly becoming a monster. You can just speak normal the whole time. So if everyone's ready, we'll get started. Interior villain support waiting room. Day. Rich in a tattered cloak paces nervously. Dave and Lizzie are slumped side by side on a couch in oversized hoodies.
It's gonna be fine, Dave. This guy's probably seen worse.
Just let me do the talking, you guys.
The intercom buzzes. Rich, Dave, Lizzie, please come into my office. Interior villain support office. John sits at his cluttered desk, flipping through a file. The trio files in awkwardly. John glances up. I'm John. Nice to meet you. So which one of you is Rich the Necromancer?
Me, but I'm pretty sure it's Rich the Lich.
Yeah, liches don't happen accidentally. People spend centuries preparing to become one and still fail. But walk me through what happened. You never know.
Well, we were in Dave's basement, found this old book,
Drops a tome on the desk.
read from it. They glowed green. Now they're undead, and I'm this.
John grabs the book, glances at the trio. This is Secrets of the Nine Planes by Morvikar the Soul Stealer. Dave, any idea how this got in your house?
He's not doing great, but his last name is Morvikar.
Morvikar's heir, eh? Dave, too bad you didn't read the book. You'd have become powerful beyond measure. Anyway, all three of you hold still. Dave perks up as John pulls out a handheld scanner and points it at each of them. Okay, Dave, boop, zombie. Lizzie, boop, ghoul. And Rich, boop, Rich the Lich. You were right. A full necromantic trio, and all of you unlicensed.
You stole my birthright.
And you dare me to read the book.
Stop arguing, you two. What do you mean by unlicensed?
Like I said earlier, most people plan to become necromancers or liches and complete all the paperwork and licensure forms and exams in advance.
Paperwork. And there's exams.
You think that undeath means there aren't rules and regulations? Please, it's more bureaucracy now than when you were alive.
Can't you just like undo it?
This is permanent, my friend. But the good news is we can just transfer Morvikar's inactive license to you. We'll need to get Dave and Lizzie here registered, though. Did you read the whole book?
No, just the one page. I was drunk.
And stoned. This is your fault, Richard.
They bicker. John slams a giant binder onto the desk. That's enough. 4 things, Rich. First off, we transfer the inactive license. You have 6 months to pass your Lich 101 home study course to activate it. Secondly, once you've passed, we register these two as approved minions.
Minions?
Minions. Third, we have to fake your deaths.
We're supposed to meet Mom for brunch in an hour.
Mom will be the main course if you all do that. She married?
No, Dad died a couple years ago.
Does she have a nice life? She have anyone else besides you two?
She's in constant pain, no.
She lived nearby.
Like 2 miles from here.
I have her come over as soon as she can. Rich can turn her too, but it has to happen here with me as a witness. But besides Mom, Rich, item number 4, no turning anyone else till your license is activated. Lizzie leaves the room to call her mom.
Okay. I guess we don't have a choice.
Rich, you have an iPhone?
Yeah, why?
Home study course app is iPhone only. The green glowy hand thing you can do charges iPhones too.
Uh-huh. Cool.
Not androids.
Not responsive to evil energies, unfortunately.
Oh.
Rich flips through the binder with a horrified expression.
This is like 1,800 pages. How long does it take?
Like I said, most lectures prepare well in advance. I'd give you more time, but once a license is transferred, it has to be activated within 6 months.
And what if it's not?
Then you and your minions have to be destroyed.
Great. David Manners. I'm so sorry.
I have an idea, but just in case I'm wrong, what do we feed him?
Organs, brains when you find them. Pages 524 through 566 are a full How to Care for Your Zombies guide. You might want to start there. Lizzie, how close is Mom?
Like 10 minutes away.
Okay, we're going to need to restrain Dave in the closet until she's a minion. I'll get the rope. Welcome to Undeath. And the feedback that I got from the writer's room that I'm in, they said, we feel like this isn't the end of it. They want a part. They want an end when Mom gets there. And I thought what needs to happen is Mom gets there and Lizzie's like, hi, Mom. And Napa breaks him through and goes, hey, John, I found this guy stuck in the closet. What am I going to do with him? And he charges Mom. You hear Lizzie go, Dave, no. And then just blackout.
That would be something Napa would do.
Of
Right.
course, it's Napa. It's always Napa.
So
I'll be honest, with the current tone, with the way you word that in your current tone at it, is like, we're going to need to restrain Dave in the closet until she's a minion. I'll get the rope and welcome to On Death. If you were to continue it from there, it needs to get crazier than, hey, Mom's here. It literally needs to be Mom coming through the door earlier than expected. And like, no one was ready for Mom to be here.
Right. And that's when Napa is like, I found this guy in the closet, and he just charges and just blackout.
Yeah.
I haven't decided if that's the final ending yet or not, and the sketch is not done. It's still going to go through a couple more rewrites. But Rusty Stormraven and Debbie, thank you for jumping on with us and reading. You can go ahead and pop out of the room now.
All right, quite welcome.
Appreciate you jumping on. Thank you.
Thank you.
How do I get out?
I got it. I'll get you.
All right.
Kick from studio.
So, I will say, as it currently stands, besides tightening a few lines up, I really like it.
Yeah.
In all honesty, personal opinion, you could damn near start it with right there coming into your office.
Right. Yeah. The only reason, and now keep in mind, this is written, the sketch style that we're being taught in sketch class, which is it's supposed to be performed on stage when you need a slightly longer exposition to kind of explain what's going on. But for social media, it does need to kick in, like,
honestly,
right here.
even outside of social media, you're playing with an established character and stuff like that, right?
Right.
Your exposition could be office.
Right.
Literally, you go through the exposition by the looks of it almost twice, to be honest.
The likelihood of a live audience being as familiar with John as the online audience is lower. And so we just need a tiny little bit of something explaining what's going on. And that's why I'm probably going to change some of the beginning too. But like,
if you were
honestly,
to
for
write
the
this
video,
as, if we were to think about it on stage, and you remove the villain support stuff out of there, and it's you play with the like Beetlejuice on Dead thing.
Yeah.
Right? Play with it on that. Name me somebody in the United States who doesn't have an idea of who Beetlejuice is.
Oh, sure. No, you're right. The sketch should start right. I don't have to share it anymore. Hold on. That's why you don't see what I'm indicating.
I can't. I can't.
I'm highlighting stuff, and I'm like, why doesn't he see it? The sketch should start right here.
Yep.
So which one of you is Rich the Necromancer?
And like you guys are already in they're already in the office right there. It starts off strong, even from an on scene on the stage type deal. It's like, so which one of you is Rich the Necromancer? That's a really good.
Yeah. Me, but I'm pretty sure it's Rich the Lich. Jesse, liches don't happen accidentally. Nice try. You know, and no, but he read Morvikar's book, which means he's a lich. Because Morvikar's a lich.
And so
this is a fun way to reintroduce Morvikar.
Yeah.
Because now he's this, people are like, who is Morvikar the Soul Stealer?
So for Firefly, if you go to the very end of that skit, very end where you go, welcome to the undead.
And then, and right then, they hear a knock on the door. And John goes, would you get that?
It would be even funnier if this happens right here. Nappa coming in is brilliant because technically you guys haven't squared away the zombie that's about to eat somebody's brains, right?
Oh, you're right.
So Nappa comes in, hey, you've got a guest. And literally, I believe it's Dave, right?
Oh.
Dave jumps out.
Dave could be like hanging on Nappa's arm and gnawing on it. And Nappa's like, hey, this guy was stuck in the closet. What do you want to do with him? Can't even get his teeth through his skin. But then Mom is like, Lizzie, I got here as fast as I could. What's wrong? And Dave goes, brains, and just charges Mom.
Because, well, the if you modify the script a little, because right now, as you have it, that's a scene. We're gonna need to restrain Dave in a closet until she's a minion. I'll get the ropes. Welcome to On Death. That's a scene end. I know in the sketch, they're like, oh well, we would keep it going. But like when you think of plays, when you think of other things, that's the next scene.
Yeah.
And so you would have to build back up the scene versus keep the thing going, like peel and kill, right? So if you rewrite it to where apparently she was already on her way, she was following them. Lizzie's like, oh, they're already she's already on her way here, and then you're like, how close is she? And then Nappa goes to the door. There's this Karen over here. Then Dave rushes out.
Yeah. It's gonna take a little bit more to get it right. I also got the ending figured out for the John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt sketch.
Mitch the Lich.
Which is
you got the ending figured out?
Yeah, I got the ending solidified. So remember they all sang the song? And then Seth goes, that was fun. And then rolls a dice. He goes, ooh, natural 20. Ted goes, what are you rolling for? And Seth goes, you all die. And they're like, what? And he goes, the ale was poisoned. Make new characters with new names. And Adam goes, yes! Adam's character has that crazy, super long name.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes, yes! The Honorable Colonel Plumbutton. Wait. Adam, roll a fortitude save. Adam rolls d20. 16? Okay. So Jingleheimer's a tad more resilient than everyone else. He survives with an upset tummy. And Adam's like, you monster.
I like that. You kept that, like you changed the ending, combined a little bit. And you made it so that it wasn't so like evil DM, kind of jackass DM that no one likes dealing with, and more of a, you thought you could pull one over on me.
Yeah.
I like that quite a lot.
I do too.
And for everyone wondering, there will probably be a version of these skits made for the channel. But
Yep.
the way he's currently writing them is for like sketch comedy, improv stuff, that kind of thing, right?
Oh, we'll probably perform them on stage, but yeah, I definitely want to film them.
It doesn't always mean I will be in the videos, because some
So
like if
yeah,
we, the
both of
Jingleheimers
these,
one especially.
both of these are designed to be filmed in a single room. I will be writing more that can be us. These are just these are ones that I had written for villain support and then shelved because I couldn't figure them out. And then I brought back for the sketch writing class that I'm in. And so I've written them outside of the villain support setting. I brought the Lich one back into it.
Yeah. And to everyone wondering, whenever we're writing a skit, it can be very difficult to have us both, like, we would love to have same room type of stuff a lot because it adds a lot to it. But when you start creating things where you need multiple people, we've ran into this multiple times, and our videos have suffered because of it. Because we'll look at it and be like, well, this is the best we can get. And I'm going to use an example that was very, very popular, but both me and Chris looked at it and I was like, this could have been much better. And it's the Freddy skit.
Yeah.
And that is, we're all in separate locations. We're doing the best we can individually. We all have different recording devices, different cameras, different qualities. Yep. Freddy's was like on an iPhone 7 or 8 or something like that. Something really, really
I think it's an 8. Real quick, a Lich is like a super powered necromancer. Like they're like an undead demon lord. Very powerful. Unless they're brand new and confused.
Now, there are ways to film in different locations.
Yep.
And have them all look really clean and really good. There is one key difference between those for people who do that, because I've seen it. I've seen it from big TikTokers who did this. One notable is a guy that sits down. His captions are specifically done in a way to like drive your attention. And he's at a table and he's usually just talking with food. There's a few different things. And the benefit of his backgrounds is specific that you could think everyone was at the same table. And we could do that with some D&D skits. The biggest thing is creating the camera angles with everyone, with the knowledge of, please have your background be this. Please have your background be this, or do this. And that's without green screen effects. That is literally just using the natural background and saying, hey, if you can record 2 p.m. your time, I'm recording 2 p.m. my time, and Chris will record 2 p.m. his time. Our light will fucking match across the board. And if you record from this angle up, and your background's a window, your background's a wall, and your background's a kitchen, congratulations, I now have a view of the entire table.
Yep.
And it's something that as we have progressed as creators, we've realized that we can do these things. They are just a tremendous amount of work. Like one of the scenes for Stitch that honestly Chris wrote, and I am looking at, I'm like, I might have to change it, but I don't want to, because I have an area. I just have to do a bunch of stuff to make it film ready. And that is behind my desk is the cubicle. Behind that cubicle wall, Chris?
Yep.
Behind this cubicle wall,
yep,
is 2 smaller filing cabinets. But let's be honest, they wouldn't be small. They would either be stacked on top of each other,
right,
or they'd be one giant one. Now I can stack them on top of each other, move things out of the way, and make it so, frame the camera so you see just enough the cubicle and me searching and everything that there's not going to be a problem. It's a lot of work to do a 15-second scene. May at most 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So when we get to that point, I have to decide, is it worth doing all that work? for me dressing up and going out and filming the scenes that I filmed, it was worth it. It wound up being like nearly 2 minutes of footage that's usable, or a minute 30 or something like that. 15 seconds, I'm causing myself physical pain, moving a bunch of stuff. I'm not quite sure I want to do that. Peter, we are talking about recording, the things that we do for recording, scene creation, and what we think about, and that kind of stuff. And see, that's another good thing right there, is like doing the fusion dance thing would be much funnier and much better in person.
We joked about this possibility of Nappa and Levi doing the fusion dance, and Nappa just having a big red beard.
Yep.
Even though he had hair when he was younger, like his body rejects it now.
He has the Saitama problem.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh yeah, somebody said that they should stitch on me for wearing that shirt / creating it. And I said, like, I have Stitch but he's in the corner. For all of you that forget, Stitch lives in my office. I just don't have a area to put him up here yet. But when I do, I'm going to stuff him in there. And I'm hoping to have his head be poking out just like this, like if he was mounted to the wall. My kiddo was like, hey, do you think I should get a second one of these? Rip its head off and mount it to the wall. My kiddo's reaction, I kid you not, was just a no. I see. I can't put him on the cat shelf because the cats would literally tear him off of it. I can't put him up here unless it's for like a specific skit. My cats would find a way to knock him off in some fashion. I think that no matter what fusion, it would go horribly wrong in a way. And so there would be none of that power. It would just be it'd be just a funny thing. And I am really happy, to be honest, the more I think about how we have things, because we talked about the Deadpool stuff, right?
Yeah.
I'm really happy with that skin. Now, if we have to put stuff before it, we put stuff before it. But I really like the idea of like, we have that resolution there, and then we're like still trying to fix everything that he caused afterwards. For everyone wondering, we were talking about, I think it's in no, it's not in the Discord. It's in the Instagram, right? Yeah, it's in Instagram. I've had a couple of really bad days with headaches, which has not made writing possible. Look, I got virtually nothing done on those days because it just would not let up, and it was like I had times where it was like hard to walk because of how bad the headaches were.
That's the advantage of what we do, is that, do we want a lot of videos coming out? Yeah. Is it okay if we have 2 or 3 a week? Yeah, that's enough to keep the algorithm fed and happy.
Yeah.
Big Tony, I'll check in a second. But you know, there's not like we have like a deadline that we have to meet. It's just, let's get what we can out when we can, and there we go. Big Tony, I'm looking for your comment. 1 second here.
So here it is. So you were thinking that we should have a meeting before the final video detailing all the horrible changes.
Yeah.
And then all the things that we have to fix afterwards.
Like all the different things that that Deadpool being in the Star Wars universe, like what kind of stuff did he? Holy God, Dragon Blur!
Holy shit! what kind? I now have to ask this. What kind? Because, like,
You're gonna get Levi in trouble if it's the wrong kind.
well, no, I mean, I can just go grab a stuffed animal, rip it open, and then stuff it on there. A lot easier than I can make one on the printer, right? On the printer, it's costing me a lot of money. On one of those, it's like I'll find a $20 thing and stuff it to the wall. Up to me. Okay, so I want you to imagine a shelf, a square box-like shelf on here somewhere. Maybe in that corner, right there. And it's literally just Stitch stuffed into the wall. Like that. Chris.
Yeah. I love that.
That way we don't do any damage to any stuffies. And he's just stuffed into the wall. And like people can think it's a trophy, but he's just yeah, like that. Okay. I now have to let Raven know what you guys did.
No, it's not you guys, it's one person. Thank you again, Dragon Blurs. That's awesome. Hey, Brian Crowder. Welcome to the live. You know what other sketch I'm excited about updating? The one I came up with about the regular dude whose dad is a minotaur and mom is a mermaid, but he's just a regular guy.
There have been so
one?
many people that were riffing on that type of skit too.
Yeah.
Like it was two minotaurs, but the guy got the human half of both of them, or two mermaids.
There's a minotaur and a mermaid, and he got the human torso and the human legs. But I'm thinking for the sake of the sketch, because I don't want to have a mermaid just sitting there the whole time, it's a minotaur and a satyr. Minotaur. It's a minotaur and a satyr. So a bull, human body with a bull head, and then a satyr, goat legs and a human torso and head. So he got...
Okay, hold on. I need to save this one before I go looking. I was working on printing other things. The shelf. Let's see what we can find here. That would kind of work, but no. Oh shoot, I was gonna put the wooden. Okay. This is gonna give it away. But I also have a comm badge. It's made from wood. That's gonna be like this big or so.
Okay.
It's really, really cool. I found it on somebody who does woodworking, and Star Trek comm badge. And I was gonna hang it on the wall. But I guess because that's where the gold plaque is going. Originally, I was going to have some more Zelda themed stuff, but we can put a shelf there and I can just have those pictures rotate into different things when I want to. So yeah, so I need a shelf to go there. Probably, I think a hexagon honeycomb shelf would work best, but it does need to be, I need to find a way to stuff him in there and keep him in there is the only problem. I think that would work. That sticks out relatively far though.
Ow. Ow, that hurt. Okay.
All right. Well, we'll at least test this. How much filament?
You ever had your back be out and then you shift a certain way and it pops it all the way back into place? but
I
it
wish.
hurts almost as much when that happens than when it's been out.
That is the wrong printer.
I'm good wheeling dragon. I've had a spot in my back, like right here, that's been out all day, so I'm getting pain down both shoulders, and I just got it to move, and it was just very painful for a second.
Let's go with the last.
My shoulders are misaligned, so it's always one's higher than the other, and it causes my upper back to be out of place a lot.
Worst case scenario, I now know somebody who does woodworking. I can give them measurements and be like, "Can you do this?" And I need a lid, and so I can stuff. I think realistically, I could probably stuff his head into a hole of that size, because I could stuff him in there, have it be a lid, and then his head would be like that.
Right.
The big thing is having his head so it's like this, so it's up, so it sits up. So I'd probably have to have a lid, and then it would also have to have something to force his head up like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. My kiddo's response, nice. I don't know if they realize it yet. All right, so I'm making a shelf now. Oh, now they realize it. So their response is, "Oh, dash." And I was like, "Don't worry, I won't rip this Stitch's head off." For the record, everyone, I'm going to do my best to where we don't have to cannibalize a Stitch head.
Technically, you can't cannibalize Stitch unless you're a member of Stitch's race.
True. Stitch on a shelf. We have Critter on a shitter. I don't have one of the critters at my desk right now. I don't know what the point is of me promoting that, just to not even have one on my shelf. I would love to revisit that video.
Stitch on a hitch,
Stitch
like
Stitch head pillow.
Yeah.
Wait, I gotta look that up. And either way, I would have to wait until, oh my God. It's so big though. That's so big. But yeah, they have Stitch head pillows. But it would be just as easy, to be honest, to take a stuffy like this, dehead it, sew the bottom up, and then sew in a mounting bracket, like or like while he's in there, just put a magnet on the inside. That's all I would need, is a magnet on the inside of here, and then put a magnet there. And then what you would have is you would have his head literally magnetized right there. And because it's a magnet, because that's how I do all my photos, I'd be able to move his head around periodically.
Okay.
But I'm gonna try the shelf first before I go and buy another. Ooh, pardon me.
What
Another
is this?
Stitch stuffy. Oof. My kiddo's response, good.
So Dragon Blurs. very good chance that what Levi's trying to do is going to cost a lot less than what you gave us. What else would you like us to use that money for?
Yeah, either way. It's
You
gonna
can
cost,
also
like-
say whatever you want, but if you have a request, by all means, throw it at us.
Yeah, but
Yeah, Dark Wolf Nova, the Punky Doodles video is what inspired this whole idea for the sketch. I'm expanding it way beyond what Punky Doodles did.
At most it'd be like $50. Whatever. Oh, all right.
All right, well, Levi, we got to figure out something cool to do with that then.
Animation.
Yeah, that okay. Dragon Blurs. What's your favorite video? Ideally, a shorter one that you'd want to see animated that hasn't been animated already. Preferably not a Borg or Predator video, just because we're trying to expand beyond that. Even though our guy can do those.
We could also do the Batman Kamehameha video.
Yeah, we want to give him several different videos so that he's developing more and more resources for us as that goes on. Because then he can the more he does, the more he can reuse those for other videos.
We honestly, after this live, I want to talk to you about voice actor. I'm gonna send it to you.
We don't have a theme song, so let me just. This is most likely not going to happen, but it might. It would be amazing if it does. I reached out to the band Dragon Force because I thought it'd be fun to write a sketch about Ganondorf calling in because he loves the song "Power of the Triforce" by Dragon Force. If you haven't heard it, it's fun to listen to. It's Dragon Force is like Nintendo boss fight music rock, and it'd be fun if Ganondorf called in and is like, John, I love this song. I hate that it's about Link. I want you to get a hold of this band and have them write a song about me. And I'm going to do the sketch either way. But if Dragon Force is willing to play along, if I can actually get a hold of them, which I don't know, I sent a message to their PR person.
Not counting his ear.
Just having Herman Lee, the lead guitarist, just call back and be like, John, I saw your request about Ganondorf wanting a song, and unfortunately, no, we can't do that. How are we supposed to write an epic song about a horrible tyrant who never wins? And then I tell Ganondorf that, and he gets all upset and cries. So if I can start a dialogue with Dragon Force, and if it turns out they're fans of the channel, like this is a whole lot of, the British band, this is a whole lot of ifs. It would be amazing, like in my dream of dreams, amazing if they're like, we know villain support, we love it. And maybe they're like, hey, we'd love to write you guys a theme song. Crazy long shot, but it would be amazing if it happened. But no, we don't have a theme song. That's what my dream would be, to have a Dragon Force written theme song that we can use. That's awesome, Stephen Lockie. If you have a contact, by all means, feel free to reach out. I won't stop you. But at the same time, this is like the longest of long shots right now.
The cool thing is, like, they're nerds, so there's an entire possibility that they might be like.
At the same time, like, we can still do the Ganondorf sketch and just not have Dragon Force in it. Now, here's the thing: like, I could go on to Cameo and request a video from Herman for about $100. The thing is, if he's gonna do it, I want him to do it because he wants to, not just because I made a request. And Cameo is not super clear on how those videos can be used. Anyway, but the video can be done without Dragon Force anyways, because we can just say to Ganondorf, they never got back to us, but honestly, I'd be shocked if they want to write a song about, a villain who never wins.
Real quick to everyone here, pivot conversation slightly. Mostly because what Chris said bugged me. Not just now. How many people know Batman And of the Batman, who knows Kevin Conroy? Because I think of Batman. I think of Kevin Conroy. He is the legend of Batman. He is Batman. When I think of Batman, that's who I think of.
Yeah.
And like, when you hear Kevin's voice, you know Kevin. On average. Personally.
Wait, Arthron, you know him? Well, I mean, knew because he passed away, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the next question, since there's a lot of people who go, yes, 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 right? When you hear that voice, because Kevin's voice is pretty like Kevin, right? So let's say you were to hear a version of his voice, but you didn't know it was like, I didn't say which one. You'd be like, oh, that's Kevin Conroy's Batman. Or would you go like, who is that supposed to be? You know, the way I worded this is not great. You know of him. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman. My voice is good today. Like, I haven't been screaming into the mic or anything, so like it's not trying to cut out on me. Oh, I can do a little bit better. Oh man. Oh. Somebody type out Joker's laugh. No, I just haven't been I just didn't talk for like a day and a half. So I do a bunch of talking in front of you guys, right? And when I'm with Chris, I'll do a bunch of talking. When I'm with people that I click with, I'll talk. Outside of that, like Chris, when we were at Comic-Con, I remember him asking me like 5 or 6 times in like a 3-4 hour setting, because I was just peopled out, of like, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, dude? Is you good? Because Chris hadn't seen me not be this like energetic and like talky like person.
I see you for 2 hours at a time, you know.
Yeah. And at that time, you hadn't known me nearly as long. Now it's like we got a couple more years. Kevin and Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton's a good one. Michael Keaton's another one of those ones that like, I feel like if you could nail Michael's voice, that'd be another one that'd be really funny to do. Because a lot of people will default to the growl, I am Batman, blah, blah, blah thing, right? Which arguably Chris can do just fine without it really harming his voice. He can do, you can do a parody Batman really well.
Where is she?
Right? And
Damn it.
And the important thing is it doesn't sound like my voice. And so like if Chris was taking a call from Batman and I wasn't in the skit, I could probably do the same thing and you would be like, oh, that's Batman, right? You wouldn't think it's me. And it's the same thing where if I'm doing something, you're not going to think of Chris's voice. I do like Adam West as Batman too, don't get me wrong. No, Chris did not do Jason. No. We had a different voice actor.
Oh, no, I did not. No, that wasn't me.
And I need to actually talk to Chris about that particular voice actor later on. But that voice actor pretty much used just their normal voice for Jason. Because we didn't have a voice standard to go off of. And so I was like, well, go ahead and do what you want. And they chose to do their own voice And I really loved the delivery that they gave me. It was really good, paired really well. Do I think that we should have possibly gotten a different voice altogether? Like gotten something that didn't sound like a normal voice. In a sense, yeah. If we got a more iconic Jason, I think that video probably would have done even better. But here's the thing. When you think of Jason Todd, whose voice comes to your mind? Like 3 different voices. You think of Batman, you have specific names coming up to your head, and usually Kevin's in one of the top 3.
Yep.
So if I'm rolling with a Batman skit that I want to succeed really well, and even though I'm doing a parody thing with him, I don't want that growly, funny voice. I want something to be out of left field. You hear Kamehameha. That's the reason why the original did so well.
Right.
But at the same time, we've mentioned this before, we want to make sure of whoever we're working with is, you know, whatever they're getting, whatever they decide what their pay rate is still giving us their best. Not, oh, well, because you paid me $5,
Right.
I'm going to give you $5 worth. Well, if that's what you chose to label your services at, you should still give the best delivery you possibly can. And that's simply the one that you chose. Like when somebody requests a video from us, it's like we chose a $50 range per minute on average. I think things have changed for us at this point, mostly because, and this is going to sound bad, we usually don't want to do video requests like that.
Yeah.
Because we found out that it's a lot more work for video requests than just delivering a line. A lot of times we have to research it, rewrite scripts and stuff like that. There's a lot of work that goes into it. And so it's like, well, we wind up charging a little bit more on average, especially because half the time it goes over the minute. Yeah, again, they did a great job. I'm not saying that the voice actor did a bad job. There wasn't a idea of what to make this person sound like outside of make this person sound angry, make this person sound
Right.
like Jason. The one that I really liked, I used 2 different examples, and I was like, you kind of have free reign here. And I went from there. And like Chris knows the reason why I'm a bit sore on that subject. But either way, at the end of the day, I did like the video that I was able to create with all that. And I want to make sure I'm creating videos that
Right.
are as best as we can possibly make them. So here's another thing. I wrote that entire script 100%. There was that was the one thing. And I'd worked with this voice actor plenty of times, and a lot of times I will tell any voice actor I work with, if you feel the need to change something up, you can. I very rarely will tell a voice actor, please keep this line, please keep this script word for word. And for the Jason one, it was word for word.
Yeah. What I will say to people often, at least to Josh, is please record the lines that I gave you. But if you think there's a better take or a different angle, by all means, feel free to record extra takes that are different from the lines that I gave you. But I do want to have the lines that I requested, just in case you don't do one that I like more.
Yeah. So Philip, here's how it goes. Like somebody who has fine-tuned their craft, regardless of what it is, right? Somebody who has put in hours and hours of work into doing something. Like, as an example, perfect one is doing 3D prints, And the reason why I say this is a perfect one is because it's relatively easy, right? I press a button and a machine does the thing. What you don't see is the literal hours I have spent maintaining that machine, the hours I have spent fine-tuning my machine, the hours I spent understanding what things need to be, how to reduce filament waste, making sure my filament is correct, so on and so forth. You don't see all of that. All you see me do, or all you know that I've done, is I've pressed print, because there's a lot of people who do just that. They just press print and it goes about their way. But there hasn't been a single person who's bought a print from me who's had an issue after I've learned these skills. Now, beforehand, I'm like, you know what? You paid me $20 for a sign and it didn't come out the way I really liked it. I don't know why. I couldn't figure it out. Would you like money back? Right? Well, when we do things live, like when we do an improv version, right? We've had times where and the Winnie the Pooh, or not the Winnie the Pooh, the Yogi Bear in the 40K was the most recent improv video I did. And I loved it. Don't get me wrong, I really loved doing it. And it was popular enough to technically do a part 2. It was technically popular enough, but I outright said I'm not going to do another one for a couple of reasons. One, that was recorded live as a thank you to one of our longtime viewers who I do not know if they are here. I have not seen Art in a while. But one of our longtime viewers, and so I filmed that. And I have no reason or need to film another one because it came out really good. Thank you, Alexis. I cannot do those cups anymore. They, like the guy never went back and redesigned the cups like he said he was going to, and they waste so much filament. They take like nearly 2 kilograms of filament. Or 1.5 or so. Either way, I don't like charging nearly $80 for what is effectively a cup holder. I hate that idea, and I love the fact that Pets Dragon Book. I love the fact that there's people out there who'll go like, "Yeah, I love that," and like I watched you color that thing live, spend hours coloring it and making it the way that we wanted it to be made, and then you printed it off and autographed it and everything. But a part of me sits here and then looks at all the filament waste that gets created that I could not find a way to not create waste. And it doesn't sit well with me. And I have kids and I have cats. And even though I have ways to take those filament scraps and turn them into other things, the best method being I shred them up. And if I had the device, turn them back into full-on fledged filament again, which I've seen people do. Microplastics are a thing I've got to be aware of.
Yep.
So the best method for me still causes the issue with melting the plastic in a little oven. With all the doors and windows open and everything for ventilation, and then letting people know, hey, this is currently melting, so I can create something else with it. So what I'm currently doing is, because I don't have any leftover filament, I don't have, like, that didn't get brought with us when we moved. I did not have an option to honestly take what is like 5 pounds of filament waste with me. It was not an option. That was space that I could not afford to bring. That was after a couple of years of filament waste, by the way. I know you're looking at me like, what? I had to decide, do I take 5 pounds of waste, of trash currently with us when we move? And I was like, no. That is space inside of the shipping container that could fit an entire box of something else. By the way, did we ever see Team Rocket or some of the Constantine ones? The Constantine one would that would be one of the easiest ones to make without having Nintendo breathe down our neck.
Constantine?
So here's the problem with animating those, though. We can find somebody who can do a British accent just fine. That's that's the beauty of it. It's a British accent, a deeper voice. That's all it is, and making sure they understand the lingo of it. Heck, you could just take one of my videos and you could overlay my voice on it. It's an insult battle is what it is. It's calling people names. And as fun as that is, there's not a lot of action there. It's mostly making somebody else cry. I love the Constantine videos for what they are. Now, the one I could see doing the best would probably be
There's the Team Rocket one that I did. Hold on a second here.
The Constantine and Dresden walk into a bar.
We can't step on Villain Pub like that.
No. It would be reaching out to them, seeing how much it would be for them to animate a small scene. I think so here's the thing. Dorkly didn't start off that way. Old school Dorkly also wasn't monetized. New school Dorkly is. Every parody creator starts out at a certain level of parody, and they push the button, they push the level, they keep moving the line to see what they can get away with, and we're at that point right now. That would be a whole new skit. If I were to do any Constantine video animated, it would probably be the one where I tell Cthulhu that he still owes me money. That is one of the most popular Constantine videos to this day. Wow, that takes a while. Which I believe is the Constantine versus Voldemort. No, that's not it.
We had a couple people mention the possibility of animating the first Dementors Attack the Wrong Harry video, where the Dementors are going after Harry Dresden.
Yeah. Or is that man, I cannot get that thing to. That might have been Palpatine, actually.
Ouch.
It's mine and John. Well, okay. That kind of, it's the same thing with Steven dropping that 500, right? It was like,
Yeah.
you know, you dropped it to have a specific thing done. When somebody donates, just be like, donate. When somebody donates to have a specific thing done, we want to make sure like we do that. And like, it's not going to cost me a whole lot to put Stitch up there. I'm currently doing what I can. So here's the thing about doing Dresden. We would be designing Dresden. Do we want to have that?
There's enough pictures of him on covers of books and stuff and the graphic novels that OpenNock could mock up a version of him pretty easily.
And we don't want Dresden and Constantine to look similar, but they kind of are similar.
Dresden's dramatically taller. Dresden's 6'7". You don't need to look it up to check. Philip Devey, no hat. Good question.
So he's Dresden is 6'7". Why is he? That is so tall. That is so tall. And Constantine is 6 foot in the comics.
The Team Rocket versus Chaozu video. Calling in saying they found a new Pokemon that's not in the Pokedex. That's the one I was looking for.
Man, if we get that animated and it doesn't get hit with anything, we are fucking open game to do whatever the hell we want. Because that is poking Nintendo. That's poking the Dragon
Team
Ball.
4-Star?
Huh? Well, Team 4-Star.
Dragon Ball is poking
Toei.
Team 4-Star.
Well, you remember Team 4-Star had to take their shit and didn't take their stuff down, but like they had to deal with their own legal battle.
That's because they literally took the video from Dragon Ball Z and put new words to it without any attribution.
Yeah.
This is a fan-made thing with Chaozu being in a completely different... Alexis Adams, yes, I am. I'm looking forward to 12 months a lot. But Chaozu would be out of the Dragon Ball universe. I think it'd be fine because people do Team Rocket videos and Pokemon videos constantly animated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there. So that we'll do that one. I'll send that to OpenNock.
As true as that is, here's the great thing about parody. The moment they don't go after you about one video, and it's been and like especially if it goes like viral enough, and you do more videos, and they choose like let's say they choose a video 5 videos down, and that's the only one they want down. They won't have any standing because it's like, well, I've already established a bunch of other videos here. Oh, we want them all down. Well, no, it's a little late to do that because we're parodying and we've proven parody. There's a difference between a copyright strike due to literally yoinking stuff and clear parody and getting a copyright strike. Copyright strikes on parodies are very hard for the companies because they have to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that we are profiting off of the IP in a way that isn't changing it whatsoever. Because otherwise, we wouldn't have parody movies exist at all. There wouldn't be a Spaceballs 2 coming out. We wouldn't have pop culture references in $1 million movies whatsoever. They would avoid it altogether.
So here we go. Dragon Blurs. Does this one work?
Well, okay. Well, technically, yes, Batman.
No,
he is.
No, not that one.
Fine,
This one.
fine,
Here we go.
fine, fine. Describe.
Well, okay.
What the hell? Hold on. Stop. What is going on here? Hold on. My whole computer just like did not do what I wanted it to do. Share. Okay, hold on. I clicked on this one on accident. Here we go.
Fine. Describe to me this Pokemon that you caught that you say isn't in the Pokedex. A porcelain doll. What does it say its name is? The sound it. Chaozu is not a Pokemon. So what if he speaks English? Just because Meowth is a Pokemon and he speaks English doesn't mean that Chaozu speaking English makes him a Pokemon. You speak English. I speak English. Are we Pokemon? No. So let him go. Who even told you that Chaozu? I can't believe they caught him. Was a Pokemon. I figured it out. Let him go. I gotta let you. Let him go. Bye. That's not funny. Lying. Come on, John. You and I both know he's been through way worse.
So one of the things I would love to do with that particular skit, to be honest, is I would love to keep the original skit 100% as it is, and have Openok give some free reign about doing it with just the stuff, kind of like what he did for what's his name, the guy that does Alan.
Alec, yeah.
Alex, yeah.
You okay?
Wrong pipe.
Oh.
And have him do that, because then we can literally, but instead of doing what he did, where he just showed the video and you heard the sound, you would see you, and then like at the other half of the screen, you would see the action happening. So you'd get to have both sides of the story at the same time, and you'd be and like just enjoy the laughter of like of seeing those scenes. Just have him essentially create new scenes for the skit. It doesn't need to be a full minute long, mind you. It could literally be 25, 30 seconds of scenes.
Yeah.
Now, alternatively, we could recreate that skit entirely, add in some stuff, and add in some actual voice acting and that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to tighten it up a little bit. I
like that skit as it is for a lot of different reasons. Number one, it's just fucking funny. The way it was written, the way it was performed across the board, it feels 100% like you're on a phone call that you're mostly dominating, mind you, but that's okay. And you realize it, look over at your coworker who has overheard your phone call. It feels like a real interaction in a call center from something stupid happening. And the person not, I'm not a fish. No, I'm not in fish. I wasn't inhaling saliva. It just went down, water went down the wrong tube.
So we just got an email from I'm waiting for it to pop into my inbox. An actual email from a domain name, not from some crazy Russian.
You mean the YouTube reminder?
We represent such and such company, but not actually it. This is an electrolyte powder company, which I've actually been looking for electrolytes for a while. It's called Zest Lights, Zestlytes, and they emailed me from their actual domain name.
Zest what?
It's a drink Zest Lights, Lytes.com.
Oh yeah, there it is.
As long as they don't use stevia, I'm good.
Sugar free.
That usually means there's a sweetener in it. So I got to find the.
Are they? Let's talk about that offline.
Yeah, sorry.
Possibly a sponsor. That would be cool. It does happen periodically. The biggest problem we have had is whether or not it's actually from the company or not. It's always interesting to see.
Erythritol and stevia, two things I can't have.
I can.
I react to both of them.
But I can have them. Well, now, was it you got an email or was it the
An email came to one of my villainsupport.com emails directly.
For villain support or for the UGC stuff?
For villain support. I mean, this is they're talking about we're excited to introduce this powder. We'd love to have you invite you to try the powder and share UGC videos with your fans on your social media. So they're looking for UGC and giving a sounds like they'll give a code. Maybe it's a TikTok shop thing. I'll have to ask them. I got to find out if they have an unflavored option. If they don't, I can't touch it, and I'll refer them to you.
So this has happened before where there was like a referral thing, and now I didn't move forward with that. There were a couple reasons why. Most of it was I am personally, for everyone here, there is a specific format to what is called UGC sponsorship videos. Chris has done a lot of them. He's really good at that format. I absolutely hate those. They are the traditional ads that you've seen forever and a half. Hey, try this, blah, blah, blah. You have not had this until blah, 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 so on and so forth. I'm not a fan of those ads. If I do an ad, I want it to be, in all essence, kind of like art. Either A, I'm making something look really, really cool visually with some music behind it and stuff like that, like I did with the dice video for this.
That's not what they want. They want a video of you introducing it, you talking about it, trying it. They're probably going to give you a script to follow.
I know.
Yeah.
I was explaining to the audience.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Steven. Yeah. And the benefit of working with Unique Dice, which I can finally say that, by the way. I can finally say this. This is, you guys know these guys. They are the same people who made this. The brand is Unique Dice. And I've gotten the benefit of working with a few brands who like the style of stuff that I do, which is more down to earth or kind of fancy-ish sometimes, or skit format, that kind of thing. And we have had success on our channel with either skit-like videos, something that like we were having fun with the video and it showed the product in it, and people were like, oh, that's a really cool thing, I want to get that. Mind you, most of that stuff is our merch, right? Making stuff about dice, I'm usually just very honest. This thing has put a hole in my desk. I sold enough of these that it was insane. Like, I personally did not make a whole lot of money off of these, But I think I sold like 80 of them, which they're like $90 dice. So they work with us a lot. Also, I wanted to give you guys some heads up. There's no reason that I will be showing some more dice off. I can't tell you what the dice look like right now, but I will tell you that as soon as I get that video done and everything else like that out of the way, they are going to be sending us or giving me a link. And we're not entirely sure how that's all going to work out yet to give away some of these. Isn't that cool, Chris?
I need to look at what you're sharing. Sorry. What are those?
So the dice that I got, these Egyptian dice.
Yeah.
So I was gonna get a commission. I wasn't aware of that. I spaced it. Apparently they mentioned it, and I spaced it. And I said, I was like, well, instead of a commission, can I get a few dice to give away to our followers? And they said, yeah, we can work something out. Now we won't get I won't see that stuff for a while because they first have to, put out all the Kickstarter dice and everything like that.
Yeah.
But it will mean that we will have some dice to give away to our followers.
Yeah, we should totally do that.
And what I'm going to do is, and this is for my own sanity's sake, is that I will make sure that it's for members only. It is a members only type of giveaway. Specifically, or like when we're live, we'll share the link. That way, people who are actively watching our channel, who actively support us, are the ones who will get the reward. The shadow, that was it. That dice looks like, yeah. And there's a lot of cool things. What I really like about this one specifically is what's Avada Kedavra, right? So spin it, Avada Kedavra.
Avada Kedavra. Yeah.
19. Something stupid like that.
Yeah.
Mind you, the D20 is actually this right here, but I like that idea. Good luck to any of you. I don't know when I will get those dice. It could be a month, could be 3 months down the road. They have another couple things of dice that they're going to send to me. And I'm going to do a couple videos for that, promote that one. It's not on Kickstarter. It's just straight to the website. One of these days, I've got to send you guys some dice.
It's about midnight here, so I need to shut it down pretty soon.
Yes, let's go ahead and call it. We kind of like had fun talking and whatnot. We're going to call it here. I want to thank you guys for joining us. Remember, take it one breath, one step, one day at a time. I wish you peace of mind, serenity of body, spirit, harmony, among others. And until the winds blow your sails our way, have an Acme day.
Have an Acme day is a product of Villain. Having an Acme day will graduate to your account. Have an Acme day.
And have an Acme day simply means to have the best day you possibly can have. Bye, everyone. Do you want to hit it or do you want me to?
Oh, yeah, I thought you were going to do it.
Okay.